Check this. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What is going on? It's Good Friday. Chopper City. He kind of outed Diddy, even though we all know Diddy's already out of there, out the closet. Or even though he never claimed it, right? Jim Jones responded to 50 Cent. Pretty much said he lying. Videos up on the channel. Just made a video on that. The art, Jim Jones, 50 Cent. 50 Cent said that Cam is on vacation. You're gonna get it when he gets back. Look, Jim Jones, he exposed a lot of ish. He exposed a lot of ish that nobody really knew about. Even though Cameron, in that interview with 50, he really outed him. He really brought up the beef. He said, "Look, nobody knew we was going through this. Nobody knew that there was beef in the camp." And Jim Jones, when Cameron was beefing with 50, Jim Jones went and did a show with 50 Cent. Did a concert, performed balling. You don't do that. You don't do that. If your man's is beefing with the ops, you don't go perform. You don't do nothing with the ops. Nothing. That's just, some people is just not loyal. And I mess with Jim. I like Jim. I got him in my top 5, but you just don't do no shit you don't do no ish like that. And the art, look, recovery today is Recovery Friday. Every Friday, recovery is every day for real. But every Friday I go to my home group. I'll be there at 6 o'clock. It starts at 7. I go early, make coffee, do whatever, have meetings, whatever. It starts at 7. Friday is Recovery Friday for me. This is when I go to my home group meeting, my HA meeting every week. And a lot of my recovery, right? This is why I put the art of not giving the F. Because this is the mentality you have to have in order to deal with the world, in order to deal with other people's opinions. You got to realize that they don't matter. Other people's opinions do not validate you or anything you doing. You shouldn't be moving. You shouldn't let anybody dictate how you act, think, feel, or just present yourself to the world, or things you do. You shouldn't let other people's opinions put you in a box. And a lot of people got that problem. They always worried about, oh, if I do this, then they're gonna make fun of me. If I do that, oh, I'm not gonna be cool if I go do this. Like a lot of that street mentality, a lot of people, the street mentality have you in a box. As far as if you just do everything that's cool to the streets, then who are you? Who are you? What do you like? Like some people, years ago, right? I got into comic books. And because I had this mentality, this was years ago, I had this mentality that, man, I can't let nobody see me read comic books because people would think I'm a nerd. They'll make fun of me. They'll think I'm lame because I'm reading comic books, right? And it's it's a little bit childish because it's art, it's comic books, right? So for a couple years, like the first year I started reading comic books, I did not let nobody know. I wouldn't take them with me, none of that. All because I was worried about what somebody else would say to me about it. What up? Let me know where. It's so late. it's 2:15 where I'm at. I'm in Ohio. Where y'all from? Let me know. Shout out to Whimsical Pink. Let me know where you from. And let me know what time it is. If y'all in the chat, hit that like button. Let me know where y'all from. Rep y'all state, y'all city, y'all country, wherever y'all at. We got super thanks in the chat. We got super chats and super thanks. If y'all want to support the channel, let me know. 7 Day Theory. If y'all not subscribed, the 7 Day Theory is the channel name. 7 spelled with the number 7 EVEN. John Jones, it's not street mentality, it's being mature or immature. A mature person doesn't care. An immature person needs to fit in. Exactly right. That's true. It is an immature but this is the problem. It be grown people that's thinking like this. And when I say street mentality, they're worried about like people in the street will not like go skiing or not go golfing or something like that because it's not hood, it's not street to the people that's around them, right? And they'll be worried. They'll be like, oh, what you hanging with them white people? What you doing? You know what I mean? That type of mentality. But it's not just street mentality. This goes to everything. People will live their whole life based on what other people think about them. Your mom, your dad, I don't care who it is. Other people's opinions do not matter. Some people will not date certain people because they mom and dad told them don't date no this race, don't date that race, right? I think that's out of here. I don't subscribe to none of that. Be your own person, be your own individual, do make your own traditions, do what's right for you. The only person that should validate you is you and God. If you got a higher power, that's the only opinions that matters. That's how I move. I have peace of mind because I move like that, because I got that way of thinking. It took some years though. Like you said, it is a mature mentality. It took years for me to get to that place. Indian, shout out Indian, message redacted. I don't know what you said. Pak, no, I can't read that. I don't know what that said. Indian, hey, how far are you from Greenland? I'm in Greenland. I'm in Warren, Ohio. I don't know where Greenland, the country. Because if it's the country, I'm in America. So yeah, I don't know. But shout out to you. Shout out to Indian. Where Indian? Where are you from? Let me know. Shout out to John Jones. Though. That was good. That was a good comment. Good comment. Great comment. Yeah, it's really a mature. And look, some of us, some people, you ever meet them people that when you're young, they just seem so much older. They got life figured out. They're able to they can save money right at a young age, like teenagers, kids. They can save money. They can be responsible. I was not one of those people. It took me years to really grow up, to really become a man, right, and really take care of my responsibilities, and get that wisdom. I'm 38. It took me till I was probably like just a couple years, maybe like 3, 4, 5 years ago, until I actually got that mature wisdom to where, all right, I got to think about how I'm moving and what I'm doing in life. Well, this is going to be a challenging. Who is? I don't know what you're talking about. You wilding. But yeah, it took me a long time to get to that point. Yeah, I was immature for a long time. Didn't want to grow up. I wanted to be Peter Pan, right? I did not want to grow up. Didn't want responsibilities. Didn't care. And I wish I would have got it sooner. Like the sooner you figure this out, the better off your life is gonna be. I made my life so much harder than it had to be on some real ish. Where's the fire in the U.S.? Fire, it's in California, somewhere in California. I don't know the exact city that's in. But this happens every year. The forest fire, and this is crazy. They talking about the hydrants that ran out of water. In California, a lot of people in California don't believe in cutting down trees. So this is what happens when you have a lot of trees in forests. You have forest fires. Every year this happens, every year. But this year it's going crazy. It's blessings to everybody that's affected by the fires. Blessings, because I couldn't even imagine going through that. That's crazy to lose your house to some trees and a fire. That's sad. It's time. It's like this time. It's like a hell. Yeah, it is like a hell. It's out to Indian. Yeah, it's like it's not stopping. It's just getting worse and worse every day. Where's the fire? You already read that. Shout out to RKG for the question. Shout out to you, RKG. Is the fire getting worse because of a fish called smelt? I don't know about the fish thing, but yeah, it's getting worse. But yeah, it happens every year. This happens. This is not it happens every year, and about the same time. I was at work yesterday. A chick from Sacramento. She used to live in Sacramento. She moved to Ohio. She was telling me like, yeah, this happens every year. Every year, there's forest fires in California every year, and it always burns. You always hear, it's always in the news, just like it is now, where you hear about all these celebrities whose houses got burnt up. Regular people's houses get burnt. You know what I mean? They have, because they got a lot of trees and a lot of forests out there in California, and they don't believe in cutting them down. Which I'm with that, but I'm not with that, because then now you're losing homes and potentially losing lives because of trees. You know what I mean? I get it. We want to have a good earth and atmosphere and all that, but now you affect the human life. You look awesome today. Wishing you a great. Shout out to RKG. Much love. My nigga, thank you. Appreciate that. That's real shit. Wishing you a great day ahead. Cutie pie. Thank you. Blessings. God bless you too. Today I love Fridays. Today because I'm in recovery. I go to my home group meeting. It's an HA meeting every Friday it starts at 7. I'll be there early. But today I'm off work today. I got my meeting today. Fridays is literally my favorite day of the week just because it's my meeting day. I get to see all the people at my home group. It's like a home away from home. Like we like family. I get to chop it up with them. I literally look forward to this day throughout the week. Usually I got to work, but I don't got to work today. But yeah, the art of not giving an F. Look, people stress themselves out so much, right? They stress themselves out so much off of other people's opinions. And the sooner you realize that other people's opinions do not validate you, because look, growing up, I wanted to fit in. I wanted everybody to like me, right? And if you're in the chat, hit that like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Turn this up. But growing up, I literally wanted everybody to like me. Now, look, we know this is not possible. I don't care if you're the nicest person in the world. I don't care if you're the most likable person in the world. You will never get 100% of the people you meet to like you. It just ain't gonna happen. The perfect man, right? Jesus Christ, supposed to be the perfect man, was the perfect man, right? He couldn't even get everybody that he met to like him. And matter of fact, they actually disliked him so much that they crucified him. So the perfect man couldn't get everybody to like him, but me in my head, growing up as a young kid, as a young adult. I got 4 kids. You can see my baby right there. Shout out to Indian for that question. That's my daughter. That's my youngest right there in that picture. You can see behind me. I'm trying to point to it right there. That's my daughter. I got 4 kids, 3 boys and 1 girl. But so in my head growing up, I literally never wanted to ruffle no feathers. Didn't want nobody to dislike me at all. I wanted everybody to like me. And we know that this is not possible, right? But I tried my best and I had that mentality. I was always worrying about what other people thought of me. Always, to how I talk, to how I dress, to how people are going to feel about what I do, right? And it took me until like 5 years in my 30s to really gain in wisdom and to know that other people's opinions do not matter. They don't validate you. I don't need validation from any person, community. While it might be nice to have, and yeah, validation is nice to have from other people. It makes you feel good, right? But I don't need it. It's cool if I get it, but I don't need it. The only person that validates me is God. That's it, the Most High, and myself. And the only opinion that matters is my mind of myself. I don't move off of what other people think are cool. I do what I think is cool. I dress like how I want to dress because I like it. I don't care if a million, a trillion people say you don't look right how you dressing, or you look stupid, or you look lame. I don't care. As long as I look in the mirror and I like it, that's all that matters. And I feel like if more people would have that mentality and not worry about what their mom, what their brother, what their cousin, what their uncle, what their friends think, or what they're gonna say, their life would be way 100 times less stressful and stressed out. It's getting cold in here. Hold on. I'm gonna put this in. Indian, do you have any dildo suggestions? Any dildo? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what dildo is. Dildo. Why that? Hell no. Why just read that? You wilding. That was a good one. I like that one. India, but Jesus was not a father nor a husband. But what does that have to do with being the perfect person? What they got to do, being a husband or a father? That don't have nothing to do with being the perfect person. That's what I was speaking to. Like I wanted to everybody to like me, but even the perfect man couldn't get everybody to like him. That's what I'm saying. Like it was so ridiculous, that way of thinking. And I really thought like that. I really wanted everybody to like me that I met, and I was serious about it. But that way of thinking is damn near crazy, because it's not possible. It's not possible for everybody you meet to like you. Even if you don't know if they like you or not, you might not even know that somebody don't like you, because they might act a certain way. It might be fake, or they just don't want to tell you. You know what I mean? So yeah. The art of not giving F. I done mastered it. I could put on a master class on this. People people come up to me, right? Like people in my family, and they'll tell me certain news, and they'll like expect me to react a certain way. But I react how I want to react. Like some people will say something that they think is shocking, and my face would just be just like this, right? Just okay. Um, and it's mostly women. You know, women like to when they have something that they really want to tell you or that's shocking or that they think you should react from, they really want to see your reaction. And a lot of times I just don't give it. Yeah, I just don't give it because if it's real, if it's a real reaction, yeah, I'm gonna give it. But I can't like fake a reaction, and that's what I learned. That's what recovery done taught me. I cannot be. I gotta live in truth. Who is the most perfect man throughout history? Jesus. Jesus. If everything in the Bible in the New Testament is true, it was Jesus. He's the Son of God. That was the perfect man, right? Perfect human. But and shout out to Indian for that question. That was a good question. Damn, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, that's what recovery. Yeah, that's what recovery taught me. Is that that I have to live in truth, right? I have to live in truth. What I present to the world, I gotta really be that. Like I can't present one thing to the world or to people, and then really behind closed doors be some other person. Like I can't portray I'm a good person, really living by the laws of the universe, really living by truth, but behind closed doors, I'm relapsing, or I'm mistreating my kids, or I'm doing this and all. I'm doing all this bad things behind the scenes, like a Diddy, right? Like put on this front like he's this good dude, right? But behind the scenes, he's beating women, he's essaying women, all this nasty stuff, right? I can't do that. I have to be really, what you see is what you get. Whatever I say, whatever I do, that's how I really feel. That's who I really am. Indeed, he was one of the best, but I don't think he was the most perfect. So, Indian, who was the most? Let me know who's the most perfect to you. You let me know, because I can't think of no other perfect human, like the perfect human. Like literally, he was God incarnate as a human. So I mean, how much more perfect can you get than that? So yeah, I yeah, I have to live in truth. Now I study the ancient Egyptians. I study specifically the Black Egyptians. Akhenaten, Akhenaten. That's specifically him. He was the first person in history to believe in one God. The first person that we have archaeological evidence, tangible proof that he believed in one God. Now we have the Bible, right? But that's the Bible. That's not a historical. While it kind of is a historical document, to historians, it's not. There's no archaeological proof, and there is some, but there's no archaeological proof of like Moses or like Abraham, right? We don't have proof of their existence as far as tangible stuff, like written out and stuff. We have Akhenaten. We have that he was in the 19th dynasty of ancient Egypt. He was King Tut's dad, but we have writings of his, we have paintings, reliefs, statues, we have a hymn to his God he wrote, which is really it has comparisons to the Psalms hymn in the New Testament. They're really similar, very similar. And Akhenaten lived in like 1400 BC. 1400 BC is when he lived. 56 BC is when he died, I think. And then 1436 is when he was born. So, and he died around at like 38, 33. What's up? Adam Nusqui. What's up? Shout out. What up, Adam? Shout out to Adam in the chat. I see you. Andy, I think Muhammad from Arabia. Muhammad from the Muslim faith, right? Muhammad, dang, what's not the Torah, the Quran, Muhammad from the Quran. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a whole lot about Muhammad. Was Muhammad God incarnate? I don't know. You gotta tell me. And I haven't read the Quran, even though I do want to. I need to read the Quran and I want to read the Torah. But yeah, I mean you could be right about that. I'm not informed on the Quran. I haven't read it yet. But so Akhenaten, right? My favorite person in history ever. He's first and Tupac is second. As far as people in history that I study, like revolutionaries, Akhenaten was a revolutionary. He changed Egypt completely. And this is in an era when for hundreds and thousands of years before Akhenaten, there was everybody believed in multiple gods. Everybody, every pharaoh, everybody, right? The whole country, everybody did. Akhenaten was like, nah, dead all that. I'm coming in. I believe in one God. He changed all that. He changed the art. He changed the religion. He changed the capital. He changed the capital. You can come in. He changed the capital of the city from Memphis. And he went into a desert, built up a whole city, and moved the capital of Egypt. That'd be like if the president came in and was like, you know what, Washington, D.C., I'm not feeling that. We're about to move the capital to Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio. That's where the capital is of America now, right? That's what that would be like. And he changed the art. Instead of depicting himself as like strong and like muscular, right? Even though maybe the pharaohs weren't. He showed family life. He showed him and his wife. His wife was damn near like a co-king, co-queen. He showed him like embracing his kids, loving his kids. This is what I love about Akhenaten. But his mantra, his whole goal in life he called it living in Ma'at. Now Ma'at translates to truth. So living in truth. And that's one of the things I take from Akhenaten. Straight revolutionary, right? And he was the first person that we have actual proof of that believed in one God, which I'm the same. I believe in one God as well. And this is the first person. Akhenaten, there's been books written on, hundreds of books written on Akhenaten. Some of them books claim that he is actually the historical Moses. You read the book, The Hundreds by Michael Hart. Nah, Indian. What's it about? Let me know what it's about. I never read it. I might want to read it though. You gotta let me know I might look it up after the stream. But let me know what it's about. But Akhenaten, right? He believed in one God, right? And that's what I was saying. The Moses comparison. I don't think it's a coincidence that supposedly Moses lived almost around give or take 100 years from the time that actually Akhenaten was on this earth, right? I don't think that's any coincidence at all. And in the Bible, it even tells that, I don't know if y'all know Joseph's story. Joseph, one of my favorite stories and people in the Bible. He was sold into slavery. His brothers sold him into slavery, they took him to Egypt. He got locked up in jail in Egypt. And he had a gift from God of reading dreams. He could read dreams. He was like a visionary. The Pharaoh at the time caught wind of this because even in prison, he was like running the daily activities in prison. Joseph was like, he was cool with all the guards. So Pharaoh had this dream and nobody could interpret it. That one of the guards from the prison was like, hold on, I know this dude down in the cell block 8. He can read dreams. Let me bring him up here. Pharaoh's like, okay, go get him. Pharaoh meets Joseph. He interprets this dream as, all right, there's going to be 7 years of feast and 7 years of famine. 7 years where we're going to grow a lot of crops, and 7 years where we're not going to grow nothing. So we got to save in the 7 years that we grow a lot. We're going to have to save it, put it away, and then we're going to have to give out rations and sell it on the 7 years of famine. So Joseph ends up being the second hand to the most powerful man in Egypt. Now Joseph, he comes from Jacob. Jacob is Israel. That's where the whole Israel comes from. Is this man Jacob? God renamed Jacob Israel. He renamed Jacob Israel. Jacob Israel is Joseph's father. So they were living in Canaan. Joseph got sold into slavery in Egypt, became the Pharaoh's advisor, the right-hand man. And now we have they dug up a good afternoon, L.A. Hopkins. Shout out to L.A. Hopkins. Good afternoon, family. Praying all is well with everybody. Shout out to you. God bless you, L.A. Hopkins. Shout out to him. Much love in the chat. So Joseph, they dug up in the Valley of the Kings. They dug up this tomb, right? This mummy. It was a foreigner, and the title that he had was father to the Pharaoh, the same title that Joseph had in the Bible. They called Joseph the father to the Pharaoh. That's what he was called when he was the Pharaoh's right-hand man and advisor. And the Yuya, who is who they dug up in the Valley of the Kings, his mummy, his title was also visor to the pharaoh, and you can tell by his features, his mummy actually looks like it's so well preserved. He almost looks alive. You could tell by his features he's a Jewish person, right? And Joseph was a Jewish person as well. You could tell by just his features is Jewish. They dug him out. His name is Yuya. Now, Joseph and Yuya are very, very similar. They almost translate hand to hand. So people think, and Yuya was the visor to Akhenaten. Was actually Akhenaten's mom. Akhenaten's mom was Yuya's daughter. So Yuya was this Jewish man, right? That supposedly Joseph in the Bible. Supposedly, a lot of people make this correlation, and I think he is too. So the person Joseph that is a Jewish man that believes in one God was Akhenaten's grandfather. So I don't think it's no coincidence that these ties are actually they actually have proven ties and mummies and people that are in the Bible that are tied to Akhenaten. I don't think it's a coincidence that he became the first person in history to believe in one God. I don't think that's no coincidence at all. Muhammad was the father of 4, husband of 11. None of them spoke any single word against him ever. A warrior, a leader, a speaker, a preacher, a soldier, and he was so perfect and everything. Now I gotta. That's what's up. Shout out to Indian, giving some knowledge in the chat. Yeah, I gotta read about Muhammad because he sounds like a great dude and I definitely look, to be a father, that's like the greatest title to me that a man can have. Because I came up without a father, so I wanted to be a father because I didn't have one, right? So that's great right there. And then Joseph was so handsome. Joseph, how did you know what he looked like? Yeah, I think they did say he was handsome. They did say he looked good, yeah, because the Pharaoh's wife was trying to get with Joseph, and Joseph didn't want her. He kept and then she ended up lying on him and said that he tried to get with her. So yeah, they did say in the Bible he was a handsome dude. Geeky dude, Planet Banter. Shout out Planet Banter, geeky dude. So yeah, I believe that Yuya, the mummy they have that they dug up in the Valley of the Kings, he was buried just like a king, even though he was a foreigner. His title was the father to the Pharaoh, visor, right? Same title as Joseph had. And then Akhenaten historically is the first person to believe in one God. I don't think that's a coincidence at all. And then Akhenaten, that was Nefertiti's husband. Everybody know the famous head, the famous profile, Nefertiti. And then he was King Tut's dad. As soon as Akhenaten died, though, they went right back to henotheism, or the belief in multiple gods. As soon as even his son who was his successor, went right back to, and he was young at the time. He was like a kid when his dad died, and he was king. So other people were advising him. And Akhenaten, when he was pharaoh, right, he had his people cross out every name, the name gods plural. They crossed that out. They literally scratched it out, everything. They shut down all the temples, the other gods, most notably Amun. Amun was like the most prominent god right before Akhenaten got into power. That was like the priest of Amun was powerful. They were wealthy. He shut down the temples. They were mad at him. They hated Akhenaten for this. I love him for this because I believe there's only one God. So yeah, they hated Akhenaten. When Akhenaten died, they called him a heretic. They called him they called his time like a time when the gods abandoned Egypt, right? Because he literally shut down the temple, so they couldn't even worship other gods. The Aten was his name of the god, and I don't think it's a coincidence either that he shout out to Planet Banner. Love you too, brother. Or I don't know if you're a girl or a guy, but love you too. Thank you for that. Indian Quran describe Joseph, and there is a whole chapter about there is because I'm reading a book on I'm reading on a book on the Hebrew pharaohs of Egypt, and they reference and they cite the Quran of Joseph's story and the Bible, because they differ a little bit, just a little bit. They differ. So yeah, they're not one-to-one correlation. They differ a little bit in the Bible and the Quran. Because the Quran doesn't even say Pharaoh in the Joseph story. The Bible does say Pharaoh, like it doesn't say the name. It just says like the king in the Quran. It says the Pharaoh in the Bible, but which is, it's the same thing, So Akhenaten believed in one God. Oh, and then as soon as he had him cross that out. As soon as he died though, they wiped out everything. They smashed. They tried to. They left him out of the king's list. There's an official king's list that they found in Egypt, and he's not even on it. That's how much they hated Akhenaten. They wouldn't even not acknowledge him as a pharaoh, which he was. They hated the fact that he shut down the temples, that he moved the city, that all this, right? And in his god, the Aten, it was formless. It was no form. He didn't even know, like, the way he showed his God was the image, as far as image wise, when they did reliefs and statues and all that, it would be a sun with rays extending out, and out on the end of the rays there would be hands, and the hands would be holding the Ankh, which we know the Ankh is the symbol for life. So it was the image was saying that yes, the sun is what gives everything life, but it wasn't sun worship. He was worshiping the energy behind the sun, the God in the sun, right? He was saying that the sun and the energy behind it is the creator of everything. It creates light. It creates plants rejoice when it comes out. The birds sing, right? All this stuff happens when the sun. It gives warmth. It gives light. Somehow they knew, Akhenaten knew that, because it was said Akhenaten knew that the sun even creates different languages and different races of people. This is said in his hymn, right? That he knew that even back then, back in 14,000 BC or 1400 BC, that the sun created different languages and different races of people, which it does. Depending where you're at on the earth and how the sun hits you, we got different races and all that. So that's crazy right there, that even on a scientific level, he was right. Let me see. Any of the title of Pharaoh started later. Oh wait, no. At the time Joseph, there was no title of Pharaoh. Okay, so you mean like when Joseph was alive? Yeah, there probably wasn't. It probably was called like king or something else. But in the Bible, it does say Pharaoh. It says the actual word Pharaoh, but in the Quran, it just says king. Yeah. What's this? Hold on, I missed somebody. Linda Lewis, shout out Linda Lewis. Good evening. How are you doing? I am back. Love your channel and spirit. We love you. Thanks for sharing. Blessings. God bless you. Shout out to Linda. Shout out to Linda in the chat. Real shit. Real shit. I love you too, Linda. Thank you for the support too. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the support. And thank you for subscribing too. If y'all subscribe, if y'all not subscribed, I drop content every day. The 7-Day Theory on YouTube. We got memberships now, $1.99 a month. You get custom loyalty badges made by me, custom emojis made by me, and member shout outs at the end of videos. It's $1.99 a month. And in the chat, in the live, anytime I go live, we got super chats and super thanks if y'all want to support the channel. But we going up. We're going up. I just started in October. This is my fourth. We on my 4th month. We got over 1,000 subs, so we're going up. I drop content every day. I do hip hop news, black culture, recovery, black history, black icons, revolutionaries. Talk on all this. I make videos on all this. But yeah, Recovery Friday. I'm about to get off here though. Y'all have a great day. I'm gonna have a good day. Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Indian, shout out to you. Good questions, good talk in the chat. Linda, shout out to you. Planet Banner, shout out to you. Everybody in the chat, shout out to y'all. Love y'all. Have a good day, y'all. Be safe. Keep your head up and your eyes open. I'm out.